Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us on Live Well's first initiation episode. My name is Mary Blake, the host and founder of Live Well and the CEO of Cambridge Global Ventures and Travel Pro. Live Well is a show that is going to primarily focus on the lifestyle of health and wealth. And although when you initially think that, you might say to yourself, well, health is just the absence of disease, or health is just feeling okay, not feeling sick, but it also encompasses being where you're supposed to be in life. It encompasses mental wellness and well-being. It encompasses financial health and literacy, and it encompasses spiritual health as well. And so when you take all of those aspects into consideration, sometimes you realize that you might not be as healthy as you think that you should be. So today, I'm joined by my first guest and good friend, Mr. Tommy Brown, and just kind of reiterating the importance of mental health and well-being. He is an expert in the industry and has firsthand both personal and professional experience. And so I just love to first thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And tell us a little bit about your experience, on your mental health journey personally, and what gave you the inspiration to make that a career.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks again for having me. I'm very happy to be here. And but I'll start off with my childhood. I was actually raised in poverty, and my mom struggled on drug addiction and just a really, really rough life, just growing up with no lights, no hot water, things of that nature. A little funny joke, my mom actually obtained cats at one point because we had so many rats, and that was something, she used the cats to try to get those vermin. So, but nevertheless, after having such a hard upbringing, I assumed that there was other people that experienced some of the same. Myself, I didn't learn how to read to the 10th grade of high school. So it was just really, really just a rough upbringing in my youth. And so what I did was I did something about it because my also had uncles that were diagnosed with schizophrenia, psychosis, bipolar, like they were just dual diagnosed. And so when I became of age after graduating college with my nursing degree and then also working in behavioral health, I decided to open a company called Grace Outreach. And because we would be able to help individuals that would experience anything similar to my upbringing. And so that's what I'm doing here in the community, and it's really, really gratifying.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Tell us a little bit about your nursing experience in particular, maybe some of the things that you've seen as relates to physical and mental well-being, and maybe, a story or two about something pivotal in that degree that let you know that this was something that was a passion of yours.
Mm-hmm. So my first nursing job out of school was I worked as a psych nurse. And even before working as a psych nurse, my first degree is in therapeutic recreation. And so that actually deals with doing rec therapy activities with psych patients. And so starting there and then transitioning to nursing, I saw that it was a great need to, have other resources that people could obtain. I've seen some of all sources of different diagnoses. And in reference to a story, I can tell you a funny story. And it really kind of opened my eyes because one day when I was working as an actual nurse, I had one individual that, had a great personality. And then, the next day when I get to work, everything changed. And so for me to see this night and day change, and also, just from my past experiences, it's always an eye opener when you can just see someone go from, being this cordial, functioning person to, making loud outbursts or just, creating some type of danger or whatever it may be. And so that's one of my stories without getting too much in detail about it. This one individual, he had an amazing voice as well. And it was really funny kind of how he jumped in and out of going from reality to actually singing R&B songs.
Wow.
Based on, based on him being actually touched by an actual nurse to, give meds or whatever needed to occur. And so anyway, that was just one of those eye-opening deals that allowed me to just say that there needs to be more opportunities for individuals to have access to behavioral health.
Absolutely. And so much probably you can confirm that goes into that is education, socioeconomic status, and just, spiritual health that kind of maybe goes into some of the schizophrenia and other mental health disorders as well. One thing that I see a lot in my line of work as relating to kind of mental health is burnout. And more on the corporate side, and more so, how you tell everyone you're okay, or you just know to say that you feel all right. But on the inside, there often is work that is, snowballing, or things that you're wanting to do in your job and you're just not able to do it, or you just feel overwhelmed or really exhausted. Do you ever see any of those issues on more of the corporate scale?
Absolutely. Speaking of like burnout or exhaustion, a lot of times when it occurs for me, it's when I'm trying to like help the world. It's like I want everyone to succeed, and most people to be in control of their emotional well-being. And so that's pretty much when the burnout occurs. But then also too, it's when you mention spiritual, it's like I am a believer, and a lot of times, God corrects that mindset instantly. And just to give a quick story, just one day, just being out marketing, and some of the marketing for behavioral health, we partner with different organizations all around, but sometimes you have to, just get out in the community and, just make what we have going, make it known to everyone. But nevertheless, as I was exiting, and this happened actually this week, as I was exiting this one community, this one young man, he rides his bike to me, and he's probably about 7 or 8 years of age. And he mentioned, he looks at me, he says, "Thank you for loving God." And it kind of caught me left field because I did not introduce myself to this young man. He hasn't heard me speak. He's just rode his bike up, and this is something that, he mentioned to me. And then I said, "Well, thank you for saying that." And then I asked him, like, "What made you say that? Do you love God?" And he said, "Yes, I do love God." And he also mentioned, I asked him the question of, "What made you actually start loving God?" And he actually mentioned to me that he fell out of a tree, he broke his femur, he was bleeding, and he rolled over in mud, and he became infected. And so a couple of days later, he prayed, and once he prayed, he said he dropped down to his knees, and he said after he prayed, the next day he didn't feel any pain.
Wow.
And he said, "That's why I gave my life to God." So the reason why I'm telling this story, because this was a day of me being exhausted, being, feeling overworked and et cetera. Then I had a quick reminder that the light inside of me, it has to shine. We all have missions that, God places us on, and it's like you can't just keep it to yourself. And so yeah, that would be a good burnout example, but also a refresher at the same time.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I know you also have entrepreneurial ventures. As we kind of conclude, if people were interested in learning more about Go Blessings and how they could reach out to you, how they could support you, and a little bit about that, give us some information on there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can give us a call at 469-673-5349. Feel free also to email us at info@goblessings.com, and also our domain, where you can actually just go and, scan our website, is goblessings.com. So it's a real easy way to remember. And we absolutely love, servicing the community. And one of our acronyms is actually Go to You Counseling. And so the company is Grace Outreach again, but Go to You Counseling, because I like to brand us as the Uber psychiatry. Our counselors, they all travel to your location, your home, your schools, anywhere that's conducive for you to actually converse and just open up about your problems. So if you need help, please feel free to reach out to Grace Outreach.
Thank you so much, Tommy, for coming here today. And I'm so excited to see the things that God has for you and your path and glow blessings, and just you continue to serve the community. So you guys reach out to him, and he'll definitely serve you and help you on your path. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Each year, companies waste an average of 72.5 days looking for items to support their traveling employees. This causes hundreds of thousands of dollars of time wasted to businesses that could have been more productive and profitable. In fact, 87% of corporate travelers complain of late or unattained items. Introducing Travel Pro. We provide high-value customized pre-packed bags of health and wellness-related essentials for companies who travel often, delivered directly for distribution. We have an estimated profit margin of 62% and a target market of $420 million nationally as our serviceable, obtainable markets. Coming soon, we have our own mobile app called Patho Spy, which helps to plan and manage upcoming trips. This travel tech offers innovative features such as currency conversion, budgeting, user-to-user communication, and upcoming virtual reality experience so that those who are logistically or financially challenged can experience other cultures as well.
Now we are going to be talking to Mr. Scott Schilling. Scott comes as a veteran expert in the industry with 10, 20 plus years with a background in sales, background in business consulting, background in speaking, best author. I don't know what you haven't done yet, but thank you for agreeing to come on today and sit with us for a while.
I'm honored. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So give us an idea of what a date looks like to you, like a typical day, and, how you serve.
Well, that would be awesome if I knew it, if I had a typical day, but I don't know that I ever do. I've been very blessed to do a lot of things, whether it be speaking or training or coaching or consulting or even being either a guest on podcast or hosting podcasts. So I'm very fortunate to be able to do a lot of things. That's a blessing. I'm very challenged to be able to do a lot of things. That's not quite the blessing because sometimes you get a little distracted. But I became a holistic advocate because of a health issue, 25 years ago, and everybody suggested that I look at holistic solutions, and of course I was the Antichrist. I was absolutely not going to do it because I know they were hooey and they didn't work until I went to a holistic practitioner who said, you know what, I don't know where you got all these thoughts, but first of all, we're going to address your pain. Then we're going to get rid of your pain. Then we're going to talk about your brain. We're going to talk about why you're thinking all these things. And I went from, being against holistic solutions to being a huge advocate for holistic solutions.
That's wonderful. If you wouldn't mind, tell us about a little bit of your health journey.
Well, so back then it was, and the way I actually share it, because I now speak at chiropractic colleges or have for years, multiple chiropractic colleges a year, I tell the story that, when I pushed the gas pedal down and I had this shooting pain down my leg, but I couldn't use my right foot, I could use my left, that was okay. When I couldn't sleep on my right side, but I could sleep on my left side, that was okay. But when I couldn't carry my golf bag, enough was enough.
Then it was a problem.
Right, I had to go get it fixed, right? So somebody suggested I visit a chiropractor. And like I said, I walked in with a bad attitude, super nice guy. I was the one with the mindset problem. And I said to him, I've heard all about you guys. You're going to turn me into a vending machine. He said, a vending machine? What are you talking about? I said, you're going to want me in here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the rest of my life. He goes, who told you that? I said, well, it's just it's the word on the street. And he said, well, the street's wrong. That's not the way we work. He said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what's going on with you. And then we're going to do something about it. And he goes, I can't tell you whether it's going to take 1 adjustment, 3 adjustments, 10 adjustments, or we'll adjust you forever and it'll never work. He goes, I can't tell you that. Only God can tell you that. But he said, I'm going to do everything I know to do to get rid of this pain for you. I said, okay. So he, palpates and he does all the stuff that chiropractors do. He does the first adjustment. I'm still in pain. He said, man, you moved pretty well. It'd be great. This was on a Monday. He said, it'd be great if you were back here on Wednesday. I said, see, there you go, trying to get me back. And I said, my insurance only pays one time a week. And he goes, okay, well, I guess I'll see you next Monday. Come back the next Monday, does another adjustment, moved even better. The pain was still there, though. He said, it'd be really great if you came in on Wednesday. And I said, I told you, I'm coming once a week. Next Monday I come, he adjusts me, pain is gone.
Wow.
After the third adjustment, I said, when do you want to see me on Wednesday?
He probably said, now we don't need to.
No. He said, now you're getting it. And see, the fact is, with holistic care, people don't know what they don't know. And the reality is, the only thing that heals the body is the power that built the body. A Band-Aid doesn't heal a cut. A Band-Aid simply holds it together so the body, the power that built the body, can heal that cut.
That's exactly
But
right.
people haven't been taught that. And so, again, as somebody who has experienced this, and you start to understand, well, if the only thing that heals the body is the body, you would make different decisions. You would sleep more because the only thing that heals the body is the body. You would drink more water because the only thing that heals the body is the body. You would not take pharmaceuticals recklessly because they only mask symptoms, they don't heal. So again, one of the reasons I'm honored to be here is to share a journey from a guy who was on the opposite end of this at one time in his life and now says, thank God Mary Blake's around.
Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
But that's an amazing story. And to your credit, mindset is huge, and how going through the process changed it. And then I could talk hours about how, like you said, the body heals the body, but you've got to give the body what it needs in order to heal it. And oftentimes people are taking, massive drugs, alcohol, they're over being prescribed. And, taking even prescription meds that they don't need to. Their lifestyle, is not conducive of a body that can heal them. And then they're spiritually sick too. So thank you for mentioning that. What would be, for someone who maybe is struggling, or for someone who, like you said, their body is not set up to heal them, what would be some of your advice as to where they could go and where they could start?
Well, I think the first thing to do is start with your own mindset. And one of the things that I developed and coach a lot of clients on is even if you don't know or you disagree with what you think you know, is just set that aside for a second and ask the question, is it possible? Is it possible that a holistic solution might work? Is it possible that drinking more water would be favorable? Is it possible that a little bit of exercise or simply walking is better than being sedentary? So where do you start? You start with the saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
So true.
I don't like where I am, and not everybody on the planet is where I am. So they must have figured out something. So who would you like to be? Who would you like to be more like? Which one of your friends has the health that you would like to have? And the chances are they're probably doing some things differently than you are. Well, what things are they doing differently? Is it possible that if you do those things, your health would improve as well? So again, I think a big part of it is possibility thinking, is just going, gosh, I would love to have something different in my life, and I see people having it. I'm not going to get upset that they have it. I'm going to be encouraged that they have it and work to model it.
That's amazing. That's
Well,
awesome.
thank you.
Do you have any health goals yourself in this year?
I do. I committed to go back to the gym on a daily basis, and I think I've missed 2 days so far this year. That when we got ice in Dallas. If you know,
We'll give you a pass for those
if you know
days.
what ice in Dallas is like, for goodness sakes. But just to move more, to be more active, to right size myself a little bit. I'm not fed with a slingshot, so I can probably control some of the things that I eat. And I'm working to do those things because I want to fulfill the mission that God put me on the planet for. And in order to do that, I got to be here.
I love that.
And I'm a participant in that. So I need to get active from a health side. I'm on one prescription medication that I've been on for 10 years because 10 years ago was my near-death experience. And they put it on me then and they wouldn't let me off it. And once you're on it, you're kind of on it. And so I would prefer not to even be on that. But so I work diligently not to take pharmaceuticals. I'm working to eat cleaner, a variety of different things. Am I perfect at it? Not anywhere close.
But essentially, you are walking the walk, you're talking the talk, and you yourself are living the life of the words that you speak. So you continue to be a testament of, what you're saying. And that way, if someone ever asks, like, oh, well, what do? You have a story and you have, this is what I've done and this is what I'm doing and these are my future goals. So,
yeah, I think you've got to have a design. Where you are today is not where you are always going to be. And so the question is, where do you want to be?
Exactly.
And the most of it is based on our choices. We can choose to be positive. We can choose to be negative. We can choose to be happy. We can choose to be sad. We can make a lot of these choices. I've got a friend that I was actually at an event the other day that he was speaking at, and he announced that day was 5 years sober.
Wow.
Now, he didn't have a classic drinking problem. He was not, I don't think, what you would consider an alcoholic. But he realized that when he drank, his performance was reduced. And he made a decision 5 years ago that he wanted to be an optimal performer. So he made a choice. And that's what I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten, that the vast majority of the stuff is within our control because we have the choice to do things.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know, good, bad,
100%. I couldn't have said it better.
Good, bad, or indifferent, right?
Yeah. If someone wanted to contact you and they wanted to, elicit your services, or maybe they wanted, more advice or more information, how would they best contact you?
It's pretty easy. I don't hide very well. It's scottschilling.com.
Okay.
And my email is very clever. It's scott@scottschilling.com. So just reach out. One of the reasons I'm a holistic advocate is because I truly believe that God has put us on this planet to live a totally fulfilled life.
Absolutely.
And
To live with passion and purpose.
Exactly. And let me tell you, you can have all the money in the world, and if you don't have health, you got nothing. And so, it's a balance of all these things. And so again, if I can share, like I said, December 14th was the 10-year anniversary of a near-death experience. I'm an overachiever. I lived. So it's, I'll share that story with people. Anything that serves them, I want to do from the experience I've had.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here. I bet we could keep talking for hours.
I
So
don't think
I'll
there's a doubt
probably
about
have to have you back so that we can
I accept.
continue. Okay.
Perfect.
But thank you guys for joining us today on our first episode. I hope that you've learned something. I hope that there was something that resonated with our members here today that you're able to take home and start thinking about those steps and start thinking about where your life is and where you'd like it to be, and including actionable items to help you get there. And if you need any assistance, feel free to reach out to Scott or Tommy, who was here earlier, or myself, and we'll help you get there. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.